Hi dear aspirants, welcome to our online classes. This is yours Alam Sai Krishna. In this session, we have to discuss about the one more chapter, that is principles of metallurgy. Maybe we can expect one or two questions from this chapter in every competitive examination, maybe state examination or central examination. Frequently compulsory question will become from this chapter, especially about the metals only. Yes. What is our chapter? Principles of metallurgy. Metallurgy. What is meant by the metallurgy? Why we have to study about the metallurgy? Metallurgy is nothing but one type of the process extraction of the metals from respected ores. Metal we are extracting from respected ore. So, what is meant by metal? What is meant by metal? What is meant by ore? Yes. What is the difference in between of the metal and non-metal? Why we have to extract the metal? How can we use the metals in our everyday life? Yes, how it is helping in our survival of everyday life? That is every concept we have to discuss here as a clearly. Yes, in our modern periodic table, we have the 118 elements are there. Among that, 75% of the metals are present. Among that, 75% of the metals only there. Among 118 elements, 75% of the metals are there. Sir, how can we identify which element is as a metal? Which element is not a metal? Yes, sir. We have that metal, non-metal, and one more thing, metalloids. Metalloids. Here you would see. Simply, we studied that in the metals and non-metal concepts. Metal has some particular properties. By that particular properties, we can identify particular element is behaving like metal only. What kind of the properties are there? Here, lustrous, sonority, ductility, malleability, conductivity of heat, conductivity of electric current. Which means metals maximum they have these kind of the properties. Lustrous mean one kind of the shininess. A sonority mean one kind of the special soundness. Here ductility and malleability is making into the wires and making into the sheets. Yes. Conductivity of heat and conductivity of electric current. Passing of heat energy through them and passing of electric current through them. The elements which they have the maximum properties among these. Here we are discussing about the 6. Among these, which they have the maximum properties that we consider as a metals. Which they don't have these maximum properties that we consider as a non-metal. Which the element they have the properties like metals and non-metals. Otherwise, the elements which they behave like the metals and non-metals that we consider as a metalloids. Yes, here the 75% of the metals are there. Our everyday life is completely depends on directly or indirectly on the metals only. Yes. Here, various of the metals are available. Will they have the same reactivity or not? No, they don't have the same reactivity. Some of the metals they have the more reactivity. Some of the metals they have the moderate reactivity. Some of the metal have the less reactivity. What I am telling? Metals they don't have the same reactivity nature. Some of the metals they have more reactivity, some of the metals they have the moderate reactivity, some of the metals they have the less reactivity. The elements, the metals which they have the more reactivity, is it won't present in the form of the free state. It won't present in the form of the free state. The metals which they are have the moderate reactivity, maximum these kind of the metals are present in the form of the combined substances like the oxides, sulfides and carbonates. The moderate reactive metals are present in the form of the combined states, mean in the form of the compounds like the oxides, sulfides and carbonates. Yes, the least reactivity metals, they are present in the form of the free state only. They are present in the form of the free state only. That things we have to keep in mind. Here what I am telling, metals, they are present in the form of the three types on basis of their reactivity. Some of the metal they have the more reactivity, some of the metal they have the moderate reactivity, some of the metal they have the lesser reactivity. Three types of the reactivity is available here. The metals which they have the more reactivity, they should not present, they won't present in the form of the free state. The moderate reactivity metals present in the form of the combined state like the oxides, sulfides and carbonates. But the least reactivity metals are present in the form of the free state because of it won't react with some other elements. It won't form the compounds as easily. Here we got it will not present in the form of the free state, mean it compulsory presence in the form of the combined state only. Combined state mean it can form the some other compounds only as usual because of to exist as they become as a stable, it is present in the form of the compounds only. Yes, here the more reactivity elements can form the compounds, moderate reactivity elements can form the compounds only. From that compounds, we have to separate the metal. Suppose here one oxide is there, one sulfide is there, one carbonate is there. Here these high reactivity elements, some compounds are there. But we did not require these compounds, we require the particular metals. We have to separate the metals from these particular compounds. How we can separate, by which process we can separate the things, everything we should consider as a metallurgy only. The processes, the extraction is of the metal from respected ore, the process we consider as a principles of metallurgy only. That's why in this chapter we have to completely study about the separation of the metals from respected ore by various of the physical methods and various of the chemical methods only. That we have to try to keep in the mind is how we can separate, by which process we can separate, is which methods we have to follow to separate. That everything we have to discuss here as a clearly. This is the chart. This is the way to separate the metals from respected ore. Is here first of all, ore is available. Sir, what is meant by ore? What is meant by mineral? Minerals. Here you see. Compounds are elements of the metals. Compounds are elements of the metals we consider as a mineral. Compounds are elements of metals. Metal is known as a minerals. Yes. Compounds are elements of the metals we have to know as a minerals. Which minerals are suitable to extract the metal? Extract the metal without economical loss. Without economical loss. That we consider as a ore. Did you get my point? What I am telling, listen carefully. Compounds are elements of the metals we have to consider as a minerals. Which minerals are convenient to separate or extract the metal without economical loss, that we consider as a ore. We consider as a ore. For example, here mineral 1, mineral 2, mineral 3 is available. Mineral 1 is not a convenient to separate the metal. Mineral 2 also not a convenient to separate the metal. But mineral 3 is convenient to separate the metal, extract the metal from it without economical loss. This we consider as the third one we consider as a ore. These two we consider as a only minerals. Did you get what I am telling? Three minerals are there. 1, 2, 3 numbers are here. 1 and 2 are not suitable to separate, not suitable to extract. Yes, but third one only the suitable to extract. So third one only we consider as a ore. This first one, second one we consider as a minerals. Here one statement I want to tell you here is what is that? All ores are minerals, but all minerals are not a ores. Did you get this statement? What I am telling? Statement 1, all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not a ores. Maybe like this statement we can get in the assertion and reason type of the questions. Simply for your understanding, I want to tell that one sentence in Telugu is what is that? All Telangana peoples are belongs to India, but all Indian peoples are not belongs to Telangana. తెలంగాణలో అందరూ భారతీయులే, బట్ భారతీయులు అందరూ తెలంగాణ వాళ్ళు కాదు. లైక్ దట్ సేమ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఈజ్ హియర్. ఆల్ ఓర్స్ ఆర్ మినరల్స్, బట్ ఆల్ మినరల్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ ఏ ఓర్. Is they can maybe possible to ask the question, assertion, reason type of the question. Is these two statements also right? Is it clear? Yes. Now we got the concept about the ore and concept about the minerals, and we got the difference in between of the minerals and difference in between of the ore only as usual. Now let's start. Which is convenient to separate the metal? Ore is convenient to separate the metal. Yes. Is convenient the mineral that we consider as only ore. That means finally we have to separate the particular metal from where? From ore only. So first step we have to take the ore. This is the process, this is the way, and this is the methods. It's to separate the metals. It's simply for your understanding. This chart we have to discuss as clearly here. Yes, first we have to take the ore. Here some of the steps are there for the following. Yes, especially 3 steps are there. This is the first step: concentration of ore. Concentration of ore. Second one, extraction of crude metal from the ore. Second step. First one is concentration. Second one is extraction of the crude metal from the ore. Third one is refining, otherwise purification. Refining, otherwise purification. 3 steps we have to follow to extract the metal from respected ore. First step is concentration of ore. Second step is extraction of the crude metal from the ore. Third step is refining of metal. Refining of metals. Refining nothing but here also we consider as a purification. We consider as a what? Purification. 3 steps we have to follow. Maybe in the examination they can ask what kind of the steps we have to follow to the extract the metal from respected ore. Is we have to follow the 3 major steps to extract the metal from respected ore. What are those? Concentration of ore and extraction of the crude metal from the ore, and third one refining, otherwise purification. Okay, 3 steps. The first step, concentration of ore. How can we concentrate the ore? Is by various of the methods are there. The concentration consisting the various of the methods are there within our syllabus. Here, first method is hand picking, second method is washing, third method is froth flotation, fourth method is magnetic separation. First one is hand picking, second one is washing, third one is froth flotation, fourth one is magnetic separation. Simply you have to keep in the mind only the steps, that not a process. Not a process. The process is unnecessary here. Simply the name of the process you have to keep in the mind. Maybe in the examination. Yes, what kind of the steps, what kind of the methods are involved in the concentration of ore? Maybe they can give among these four any one of the option. Otherwise, maybe you can give the four, and we have to choose the all the above. Sir, hand picking, washing, flotation, magnetic separation. Yes, here after completing of this first step by any one of the method, does not involve the all the four steps for particular step of the concentration of ore of particular metal. Yes, depends on the metal, depends on the ore only. We have to follow the any one of the method among the these four. Yes, hand picking. Suppose while cooking the rice in our house, our mother what she can do is she can separate the stones from the rice by a hand only. And afterwards she can wash that rice. At the time some dust particle will be go out. Yes or no? Yes, that is the one of the way to separate the unwanted things from that particular rice. Yes or no? Like that here also in the concentration of ore, we are separating the unwanted things from the ore by using of various of methods like hand picking, washing, flotation, and magnetic separation. Suppose simply what there is a sand is available. In that sand there is an iron pieces are there. Small iron pieces are there. Yes, it's mixed with the sand. How can we separate that iron pieces from the sand? Yes, can we take out by hand? Is it possible? Yes, is it possible for the washing? No way. Yes, we have to use the magnetic separation, magnetic method only. We have to use to separate these iron pieces from the respected sand only. Like that, depends on the ore or type of the metal only. We have to use any one of the method in here. Yes, first step, concentration of ore consisting of four various of metals. Okay. Then after completing of the first step by any one of the process, we have to enter into the second step. What is the second step is here? Extraction of crude metal from the ore. Extraction of crude metal from the ore. Yes, second process is extraction. This extraction of crude metal from the ore is depends on the reactivity of the metal. Depends on the reactivity of the metal, that we have to keep in the mind. Here the metal reactivity I told three types. Metal reactivity I told three types: high reactivity, moderate reactivity, and low reactivity. Here extraction of the crude metal from the ore is depends on the reactivity of the metal. The reactivity, some of the metals they have the high reactivity. Yes, afterwards I can explain which metals they have the high reactivity, which metal they have the moderate reactivity, which metal they have the less reactivity. We have to follow that. Up to that you have to keep in the mind. Yes, metals of high reactivity, then metals of medium, otherwise moderate reactivity, and metals they have low reactivity. Yes, metals of high reactivity. Three steps we got: high, moderate, low. Here metals of high reactivity, they contain halides and oxides. For example, we have to take the one of the example for our convenience. Metal should have the high reactivity: sodium, potassium. We have to take. Which means these are the high reactive metals. Yes, they contain the compounds halides and oxides. Halides mean sodium chloride, potassium chloride. Yes, oxides mean sodium oxide, Na2O, yes, K2O. Yes, like that we have. These compounds will be present, these ores will be present here. Halides and oxides are there, which they have the high reactivity. Yes, like that, the metals which they have the medium reactivity, moderate reactivity, they have the carbonates and sulfides. Suppose just you have to take the one of the example for moderate reactivity, the zinc we have to take, zinc carbonate and zinc sulfide. As ZnCO3, zinc carbonate, zinc sulfide, ZnS will be present here. Zinc carbonate and zinc sulfide will be the present. And here that low reactivity, Low reactivity, almost maximum they can present in the form of the free state only, but sometimes they should be present in the form of the sulfide ores only. Low reactivity metals, they have the sulfide ores only. Yes, that we have mentioned. Here we got that halides and oxides may be in the examination. Like that question, there is a possible to ask. Halides and oxides are present in which side? High reactivity, moderate reactivity, low reactivity. Yes, halides and oxides are present towards of the high reactivity. Present towards of the high reactivity. And carbonates and sulfides are present towards of the medium reactivity. And sulfides also present towards of the low reactivity and moderate reactivity. Halides and oxides only towards of the high reactivity. Yes, carbonates and sulfides are present towards of the moderate reactivity, but sulfides are present towards of also low reactivity. Yes, at the time we have to choose these low reactivity and moderate reactivity. Okay, we got that various of the compounds on basis of the reactivity order. Have a doubt here? No doubt. Let us see. Here the halides are there and oxides are there of high reactivity metals. How can we separate? Here for high reactivity metals of halides and oxides, we have to follow the electrolysis process. In the examination, maybe you cannot. Electrolysis process we have to use for which process is halides or oxides or carbonates or sulfides. We have to use for halides and oxides only. Electrolysis mean by using of the electric current, we have to make into the various of the ions. Various of the ions only is halides and oxides we can get by the electrolysis of molten ore only. After completing of the electrolysis process, simply you have to keep in mind, you know very well about the electrolysis process. Here we have to keep the one anode and the cathode and connecting to the battery only. Here molten solution of the respective ore we have to pour. And we have to pass the electric current at the time. It should break into the +2 minus. This plus is moved towards of the minus, this minus is moved towards of the plus only. At that place we can extract the respective metals. After completing of the electrolysis of molten ore, we can get the metals. We can get the metals. Like here you have to see sodium, magnesium, aluminum, etc. These kind of the high reactive metals we can get here. After getting of this metal also contains some unwanted components. Then we have to follow the purification. Then we have to follow the which process? Purification process we have to follow. Now these concepts, these chapter especially mentioned in the 10th class of central CBSE syllabus and SCRT syllabus also. Not only in the 10th class but also in your intermediate also there is one special chapter is there. Here they did not mention in the school books the purification method towards of the high reactivity method. You have to keep in mind when we make the electrolysis process, we can get the final metal, but it won't present in a pure form. It should be contain some unwanted things also. That means we have to separate that unwanted things by the purification process. Here, what kind of the purification process is there? The third step I already told at beginning of the chapter. Third step we have to follow the purification, nothing but refining process. Here, that purification process, the refining process involves that distillation, cooling, liquefaction, and electrolytic refining. What I am telling? Distillation, cooling, liquefaction, and electrolytic refining are involved in the purification of the metal. What I am telling? Distillation, cooling, liquefaction, and electrolytic refining. These are the various of the methods for purification of metal, which is extracted by the various of the methods only. We have to follow any one of the process we have to use based on the respected metal only. Yes, now we completed the third step towards of the high reactive metal. Now you should become towards of the moderate reactivity here. Moderate reactivity.